Yeah, I've done riddles a lot of times.
A
couple times.
Since the new guy took it over for
Brand, yeah.
All he cares about is if it's funny or not.
Yeah.
It's like my crowd will come, but I just wanted to make sure it's a funny show.
I'll tell you what's funny about their crowd. And they're a good crowd. We fucking it's packed there. But you got people come into that crowd that look like, a couple that should be in a picture with a pitchfork, to a guy that's walking out with tears under his eyes because he killed 12 fucking people, right?
Southern Chicago, it's such a mixture
such a diverse audience.
Farmland,
you got to go. Well, I got to make this quilting festival laugh, and I got to make this fucking Latin king that just did a nickel for fucking,
Latin king. Yeah. Patrice was on stage once. Charlie Benford was telling me this story, and someone was in the audience, some dude, and Patrice was tearing him apart, and the guy said, "Yeah, well, I'm king, whatever, with the Latin kings, I'm king, Muhammad, whatever." And, we'll see you outside in the, parking lot, motherfucker. And it's like, oh, shit. You got to deal with that. Gang members that are heckling. You know what the Latin kings are? You don't know.
No,
West Coast boy.
Yeah. Why would you keep calling? I grew up in Maryland. I've been in LA less time than you have.
You grew up on the west side of Maryland, okay?
I guess so.
You know how bad Baltimore sucks? The Orioles are so bad. When I was in Baltimore, I saw 2 pigeons holding down an Oriole as a crow raped it. But anyhow, here's the thing about
I should have said how bad are they. That's the only thing.
When you get I was doing a show at Caroline's once. It was an all-black audience, right? I used to do a lot of the all-black shows when I did. And there was a couple up front. I mean, there was 2 ladies up front, and this black lady had blonde hair. And I go, "I loved you in Demolition Man, that's all." Well, her girlfriend, they were lesbians, I didn't realize, got up and threw a drink at me. The whole
drink. That was for that?
Well, I also called her small tits, whatever. But it just...
There was
small tits?
I don't know what the fuck. Whatever she said, then I go... I know, I didn't call her cunt, but
that
doesn't work.
Whatever you said, she should have accepted.
Yeah, it was a joke. The audience was laughing. She got up, she threw a drink out at me. The whole place went silent, right? Oh, shit. As they're walking her out, I go, "Don't think you're not paying for that drink either, bitch," right? The crowd went, "Ooh." I went, "Good night, thank you," right? Because you got to end on a big laugh with a black audience.
What is it about black audiences that are so fucking hostile? And so, if you kill, though, you kill!
Yeah,
when you kill,
they're very
dude, they
vocal.
will fall out of their fucking tables. They'll be slapping their hands on the ground.
High five, they run, they jump.
But if it goes bad, there's no recovery, dude.
Well, here's the deal, too. A black audience they know if you're real. Even if you're white or black, they could feel your, you know what I mean?
Are you trying to say they're more animalistic? Is that what
no, not at all. What I'm trying to say, they can have a good time because they don't have to get up early for work, so they can stay out. They can have. I was doing a black crowd at a club in New York. And there was a good set going, and I said, "How am I going to sabotage this?" And I started trashing Sharpton in front of a black audience. I don't know why. I just started trashing them and some big black lady, she had to be 500 pounds, started booing me. The audience was booing, and I go, "Bitch, as fat as you are, you should be mooing," right? And the crowd went, "Ah!" I went, "Good night, thank you." You gotta get out. But they are the best audiences if they like you.
Yeah,
you can be real with them.
Either way,
I used to do
no silence.
I used to do a lot of black clubs in Boston because when I first started out in Boston, I couldn't get any gigs in the city. All my gigs were like in bars and stuff outside of Boston. Anything that you get paid for, like in town, like the main clubs, like where like Nick's Comedy Stop and like the Comedy Connection. I couldn't get any of that because I was dirty. So I used to work all these outside rooms, and I used to work a couple black clubs in Medford, Dorchester, and dude, when you killed, you fucking killed. You killed. They would die laughing. It was like the biggest laughs ever. But when you bomb, man, it was death.
They like. I was doing a club called Terminal D. It was like the first black club in New Jersey. I mean, it was. And I was hosting a show, and this black comic went on, and he was bombing so bad. They were booing him, giving him the bell and everything, right? So before he ends the show, he goes, "You know what? I worked a white club last night, and they were so much better to me than my own people. Fuck you," and he walked off. And I went back on because I'm the host. I'm going, I'm not going to lie. I was at the white club, and they didn't like him there either. And that's the shit black people love. They just went nuts. They just went nuts.
It's like anything else. You get to feel their vibe. You get used to it. You know? I know a lot of guys, like Dice has gone up on Fat Tuesdays in the Comedy Store.
I started in black rooms, too, like a little bit in L.A. because the white rooms wouldn't have me.
Yeah.
Just because You know,
you're a Jew.
Well, I wasn't any good, so the Black was the first ones that were like put me on like real shows.
You know what's good
when
you're doing a mixed that's good when you're doing a regular club and there's a mixed audience, because if you're doing racial edgy stuff, the black people laugh and then the white people go, well, they're laughing, we could laugh.
Yeah, it's that moment of like the look over and say, okay, they're cool.
So I can laugh now, you know, because if it's all white, they're like, oh, you know, I can't, you know. They think they're going to lose their fucking job, or they're just a white guilt.
I wonder what the Kramer thing is going to do for comedy. I wonder if that's going to change shit.
It might fuck things up with Jamie Masada saying he's going to ban.
That's gonna change. And how many times do people say nigger? I mean, how often does that get said on stage?
Said he won't say it anymore. He's used it easily over 1 million times.
Well, Mooney's just getting a little bit more publicity. He's saying it.
I would say it on stage.
Homie, please. Yeah. I'm saying it.
I would say it more on stage if I had windows to roll up and a car door to lock. You know?
Bring one on with you. Bring a window.
You know what I'm worried about is those two fucking douchebags that were heckling. Those guys, bottom line, everyone who heckles is a fucking douchebag. There's no cool, enlightened, really nice, friendly hecklers. Those guys are assholes. Any guy screaming shit out, those guys are pieces of shit. They're interrupting the show. That said, those guys are suing. And they're suing the Laugh Factory.
What are they suing for?
They got Gloria Allred.
She's a cunt!
A cunt?
Yeah. She's the worst.
She is.
She just looks for publicity.
Whore, for sure.
She won't let them do interviews unless she gets an interview too.
But what if they started a show, and here's the idea for the show. What if they started a show called Heckled, just like Punked, and they set up hidden cameras in a comedy club, and they have these two douchebags, and they sit in the audience, and they put a little something in their ear, and they have comics feed them lines, and they try to fuck up comics. They get like some road guy that's got like, you know, live at Gotham credit or something like that, and he's, you know, headlining in Bettendorf, Iowa on a Thursday, and they just fuck this guy's world up.
That'd be fun to watch.
That'd be fun to watch, right? Well, could you imagine if they did you? Imagine if you were in the fucking audience with like a fake mustache on, an outfit, so they couldn't recognize you, and you just got to ruin.
It'd be great.
I mean, come on.
And you would know. You guys would know too when to not talk back. Like, oh, where are you from? Silence.
Well, I mean, that would be dependent on them talking back to you. But just to be able to yell shit out, I mean, to fuck up. I mean, how many times have you seen a bad comic on stage? Just felt like I could just ruin this guy if I wanted to.
Oh yeah, me and Patrice go back and forth. If he's in the audience and I'm on stage, we'll start going.
Yeah, people do that at the store all the time. Or me and Don Barris, you know, we'll do that all the time. Brian Holtzman, we'll heckle Holtzman, you know.
Or me and Bonnie will do that. You know, we have
the bedroom.
I said to her the other night, I go, keep it up, I'm not going to clean your back off. She goes, that little bit will evaporate. Fucking Brian Holtzman, if you've never seen, you have to see this guy.
Oh, he's hilarious.
I just sit and watch him in amazement on how out of his mind and funny he is.
He's fucking crazy. Brian Holtzman is a guy who's a regular at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles. Very rarely does he go anywhere else. He actually works full-time. He used to work for U.S. Air. I don't know if he's still working for them. Does he? Who does he work for now? Does he have a full-time job, or did he get fired?
I'm pretty sure he's a meter maid.
A meter maid? Whoa. Yeah. Meanwhile, he's one of the funniest comics in L.A. He's got a joke on Susan Smith. Remember Susan Smith, that chick who drowned her kids? He goes, ladies and gentlemen, I heard those were bad kids. I heard they sat right in front of the TV. They didn't put their fucking blocks away. They were always spilling their milk. They will not be missed.
I heard Stanhope had him open at the Improv for him out there.
Yeah.
He was out of his element, so he wasn't on his game.
Don't like the Improv.
He's got to be in a dark room. So the best thing about the Comedy Store is the spotlight hits you. You don't see shit in the audience. You don't see anybody's
one row
face.
back. That's it.
And he can just be himself there and play with the microphone and play with his clothes and just go off into his weird little Holtzman world.
He is fucking funny.
Yeah, he's very funny.
We were talking about earlier before. Certain comics, you'll walk in the room, I got to watch this fucking guy. It's, you know, because you never know what's going to come out.
He's the saddest one to me because that guy should be huge. I mean, I've known Brian for 8, 9, 10 years now. I mean, I've known him ever since I was at the Comedy Store. I mean, maybe a year after I was at the Comedy Store, he started going there. And he's always been fucking hilarious.
He's always people's favorite.
Yeah, comics' favorite.
Yeah.
He's a real comics comic.
Because you don't know, like, if he's going to go over.
I've seen him rush the crowd.
Well, he got knocked out by Martin Lawrence's bodyguard.
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence's bodyguard was in the audience, and Martin Lawrence